Okay guys, so I'm going to quickly go over my to-do list and show you what I'm going to be doing for this week. I'm going to be splitting this up. I'm going to do some of it today, Monday, and then some I'm going to do a little bit later in the week after I go to the farm, and that way it'll be a little bit closer to the days that are in the end of the week so I don't have things waiting around too long. For dinner on Monday, we're having bibimbap. That's Korean mixed vegetables and rice and meat all together. So this is preparing a lot of vegetables for that. I'm going to pressure cook some fern, chop up some carrot, zucchini, and cucumber, blanch some soybean sprouts and spinach, and marinate the meat for that meal. For Tuesday, we're going to have bagel and egg sandwiches with bacon. So I'm going to make bagels. I have made bagels in the past, but it's been a long time. I'm also going to cook up a pound of bacon. Some of that is going to go on these sandwiches, and some is going to be used the next day. So on Wednesday, we're going to have pork chops and hot bacon salad. Or hot bacon potato salad, and I'll probably put a vegetable on the side there, maybe some greens out of my garden. So this, I don't really need to prepare anything. I'm just going to throw the pork chops on the grill and then make that potato salad. But the bacon will already be done, which is kind of the messy, time-consuming part, so that'll be nice. For Thursday, we're going to have taco salad. So I'm going to soak and sprout some beans, cook and cool the seasoned taco meat, and shred up some cheese. Friday, we're going to have bratwurst sandwiches and a salad, so I will also just throw those on the grill, but I'm going to make the rolls to make the sandwiches. Saturday is pizza. I'm going to make the sauce, the dough, and shred the cheese, have that all ready to go in the freezer. And then for Sunday, I'm going to smoke a chicken and make some macaroni salad. So for that, I'm going to brine the chicken. I'm going to do that later in the week. I'm going to get a fresh chicken from the farm, and we'll have that brined, and then I'll smoke that on Sunday. Okay, I'm going to start today by making my almond milk. I soaked these almonds last night. So there's a cup of almonds, and I just covered them with water, soaked them overnight. And I'm going to rinse them. And I'm going to blend them with a quart of water in my Vitamix. And it's going to take about 45 seconds to a minute. You really want to blend it nice and smooth. Next, I'm going to add just a little sweetener, and this is optional. I prefer to have a date, like I'll add a pitted date and just blend it along with the nuts, but I don't have a date today, so I'm just going to put a little glug of maple syrup, or you could just use sugar. You can also add a little bit of salt and a little bit of vanilla, but I just usually just do a little bit of sweetener. And then I'll just blend that just to mix that in. And now you could drink this just like it is, but I like to strain it. So I strain mine through a clean tea towel, or you can get a nut milk bag. So I have this towel in a strainer, which is over top of a container to catch the almond milk. I just pour that in there. I give it a few minutes to strain on its own before I start squeezing it. I'm just going to set this to the side so I can wash my blender. Alright, so my almond milk has been draining for a few minutes, and a lot of it, most of it's already come through, so I'm just going to gather up the towel, making sure all the ends are in my hands, and then just squeeze. Once you squeezed your almond milk dry, inside your towel is your almond pulp. I usually just compost that. Okay, then I just pour the almond milk into a container. You can just use a quart jar. I got this milk bottle off of Amazon. Just fits a little bit better into my refrigerator. And I just store this in the refrigerator. Alright, next I'm going to start my bagels. So I have in my big bowl, I have flour and salt. I'm using all-purpose flour, even though the recipe calls for bread flour. And then in here I have water, yeast, and sugar. This recipe is from the Bread Kitchen here on YouTube. It's a great resource for bread recipes. The woman who makes those videos also has a cooking channel called Titley's Busy Kitchen. They're both really awesome channels. You should check them out. She has a gardening channel too, so if you're interested in gardening. She's not making videos anymore, but her previous videos or her past videos are a really good resource. So I'm going to use her recipe. I really trust her recipes. They always turn out good for me. So I'm going to just mix this up until it's enough of a dough that I can knead it by hand. I already can tell I'm going to need a little more flour. Alright, so my dough is ready to put to rise. I'm just going to put it in this other container. and let it rise for a few hours until it's doubled. Okay, next I'm going to do the fern rake. So these are dried, they're like fern stems, and they expand a lot, so you don't need a whole lot. They're probably like this much, since it's just going to be one of many vegetables. And first I'm going to wash it. Maybe I'll do a little bit more, because this is one of my favorite parts of bibimbap. Okay, so now I have it in my pressure cooker, and I'm just going to close it up, bring it up to pressure, and pressure cook it for 30 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and soak my beans for taco salad. I'm going to do black beans. Put 1 cup, and just leave these on the counter to soak for 24 hours. Okay, so my ferns are done cooking, so I'm just going to rinse them in cold water. And I'm just going to put them in a container until I need them later tonight. Going to wash the bean sprouts. Okay, I'll go put these on to blanch or boil for 10 minutes. Okay. Next up is spinach. Alright, so this is what I'll pack up. And this that's left over is what I'll blanch and use for the bibimbap tonight. Okay, next I'm going to do scallions, and I've been doing them this way for 3 weeks now, and I really like it. So I'm just going to clean them and put them in a glass so they can keep their little roots submerged in water. And I think what I'm going to do this week is I'm not even going to put them in the refrigerator. We'll see. I'm going to start with them just on the counter. And I don't know, I think the refrigerator was drying them out. Let's see if they're a problem, if they're in my way or something, but I'm just going to sit them here. I usually have little projects soaking along there, so another little container won't probably bother me too much. These are the last of last week's scallions. They're still good. I trimmed off a few little dried up ends, but there's still a lot left that's usable. And I'm going to be needing quite a bit of scallion for the bibimbap tonight, so I'll just go ahead and use these. That way they don't get mixed in with the new ones and potentially stay there even longer. So I'll go ahead and put these in a little container so they'll be ready to go when I cook my dinner tonight. I'm also going to go ahead and mince up some garlic. So I have these are actually my fermented garlic cloves. I'm working on editing that video, but I'm going to go ahead and chop these up. That way that'll be all ready for when I go to stir fry, because each of these vegetables are going to be sort of stir fried individually, and each of them needs garlic. So go ahead and chop this up so it's ready to go. Okay, next I'm going to clean up and julienne some zucchini. And I washed my board and my knife, so hopefully it won't taste too much like garlic, but it's all going to get garlic and onion anyway, so. Someone found a whistle. Alright, let me see if I can julienne like these. Next is cucumber. Go ahead and put these away. I'm going to do some carrot. Next up, I'm going to cut up the beef for the bibimbap and season it. Okay, so to season the meat, I'll put some honey and some garlic. Soy sauce. And sesame oil. Okay, so my bagel dough is risen quite a bit, so I'm going to divide this. Well, first I'm going to knock it down, and then I'm going to divide it. The recipe calls for 8 bagels, so we'll see how big they turn out. I want these to be for sandwiches, but I don't want them to be so big because they end up with very filling bagels. So I'll put a little bit of flour on my counter here. I think I'm going to do 9. I'll do it this way so I can get 9. That will make them just a little bit smaller. I didn't cut that very evenly, did I? Alright. Okay, and then I'm supposed to form these into a ball. I'm going to put these on this baking tray just so that I can move them around since I'm going to need my counter space. So I have just a baking sheet here. I'm going to put a little flour on. I put them on that. So to form these, just make balls, which I know how to do that. It's like making buns. And then you're supposed to pinch a hole in the center, make a hole. Then you're supposed to go like this to make the hole bigger, because as this rises, that hole will close up. Alright, that's my first one. Alright, so there's all my bagels. They're not perfect, but that's alright. I put a little flour on top, and I'm going to cover them with a towel, and I'm just going to let them sit here for 20 minutes to puff up a little bit. Alright, so I'm ready to boil and bake my bagels. That is what they look like now. And I have some water with some sugar in it, per the recipe. And this is like the soft pretzels, or the pretzel bun recipe that I have. You gotta boil them and then bake them. So, probably should put a little more flour on the pan there, stick into the pan. Maybe I can just put them in with my fingers. After 30 seconds, I'm gonna try to flip them over. Okay, see if I can carefully get these out. Put them on a rack just to let the extra water drip away. Alright, so my bagels are all boiled. I have an egg white wash. I'm going to brush them all over with. I'm also going to put some sesame seeds on some of them just to try it out. I have some toasted regular sesame seeds. I also have some black sesame seeds, so I'll try those as well. Now I'm going to transfer these back to the baking sheet. I washed this and put a silk hat. They're a lot easier to move than you would expect boiled bread dough to be. But right, these will go in the preheated oven. We'll check on them in about 20 minutes. There are the finished bagels. They turned out pretty good for a first effort in a long time. Next I'm going to cook some bacon, so I'm going to just lay this bacon out onto a baking sheet, and I bake it in the oven. Makes a lot less splatter and mess in my kitchen. So once I have this laid out in a single thickness, I'm going to put it in a 400-degree oven, and it usually takes between 10 and 15 minutes depending on how well you like your bacon done. Once the bacon's cooked, I'm going to wrap up the bacon into 2 portions. I'm just going to wrap it in some aluminum foil. I'm also going to save the bacon fat, which I do always, but I specifically need this to make the dressing for the potato salad. So I want to keep this bacon fat and portion out the bacon for the potato salad and then also for the egg bagel sandwiches. Alright, so it's Thursday morning and I'm going to finish up my week's prep. I have my black beans. They've been sitting and sprouting. They don't really show that many tails, but most of them show that they're starting to sprout. Like they have little swelled ends where the little sprouts are coming through. So I don't know, maybe black bean skins are a little bit tougher and it's harder for the sprouts to come out. But I'm going to start by cooking the beans, and I'm also going to cook up the ground beef. So these are going to be for the taco salad. And since I'm going to be getting out cumin and onions and cayenne and everything like that for the beans, I'll go ahead and do my meat, since I prefer to have my taco salad meat to be cooled. So I rinsed and drained these again this morning, so I'll just put those in my pressure cooker. I'm going to add some water, salt. These are just like the little cloves inside that are kind of a pain to peel because they're so small. So I just put them in the freezer, and I'll put a few of those in. Give a garlic flavor. And some onions. Cumin. Cayenne. Seal that up and let that pressure cook for about, I think it takes usually about 6, 7, 8 minutes, somewhere around there. Alright, so I'm also going to do my seasoned meat. So I'm going to start with salt and pepper. I got cumin and coriander seeds. Got another onion here. Some oregano. Cayenne. And some garlic. Beans came up to pressure, so I'll turn those down. And for the meat, I'll just break it up and fry it and cook all these flavors together. Okay, so the beans are done. I just need to fish out the little garlics because you don't want to bite into those. And then I will drain these and cool them and pack them up. And the meat is nearly done as well. I'm just hoping some of that liquid evaporates off. And then I will cool that down as well. Okay, so I have my meat and my beans are cooling over there, and I'm going to get started here on making my bread. So I'm going to make rolls for the bratwurst sandwich, and I'm also going to make my pizza dough today. Alright, so I have my bread dough for my rolls ready to go. I have it all divided. Actually, I divided it into 14 pieces, just because the bratwurst that we have are kind of small, and I don't want a bunch of bread, so I'm just going to shape them into little sausage shapes. And some of these I'll go ahead and bake them today since we're going to eat them tomorrow. I would have put them in the freezer if I made them earlier in the week, but I'll just bake them a day ahead. That won't be a problem. And then the rest I'll form and freeze. I'm thinking about having portobello mushroom burgers next week, so I'm going to probably do the rest of the dough in hamburger shapes, and then just put those in the freezer so they'll be already ready to go for next week. Alright, so I have my 6 rolls for this week. I have 6 rolls for next week, and there was a couple extra. So I'm just going to bake those. We can eat them as a snack or alongside dinner or something. So these will go in the freezer. These will go to rise, and I'll go ahead and bake these today. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pack up my meat and my beans since they have cooled off. See if I can not make a mess. Okay, next up I'm going to work on cheese. So I need to grate cheese for the taco salad and grate cheese for the pizza. It's probably more than enough, but I'm sure they'll appreciate extra cheese. Alright, so I also have this mozzarella. This is 2 pounds. So I got this big thing so that I wouldn't have to buy mozzarella every week because my husband seems to want pizza every week. So I'm going to shred part of this for this week. And then I'm gonna freeze, how do I want to cut this? I'm gonna freeze the rest so that it will be here when we have pizza next time. Maybe I'll go this way. Put this in this container. Okay, so for the rest of the mozzarella cheese, I will food savor it in some bags and put it in the freezer. Hopefully I didn't make these bags too small. Alright, here's all my mozzarella cheese packs all ready to go in the freezer. Next up, I'm going to make my pizza sauce. I have a whole video showing how to make this. It's very simple. And here I have a 6-ounce can of tomato paste, so one of the small cans of tomato paste. I have a 1.5 cups of water, 1/4 cup of olive oil, salt and pepper. I have half a teaspoon of dried oregano. I'm using fresh, so about a teaspoon. I just did 1 sprig. And then some red pepper flakes. And you just stir that till the tomato paste thins out in the water. You bring it up to a simmer and you just simmer it till it's thickened. Super quick and easy and very delicious. Right, well the pizza sauce is simmering when we make the pizza dough. This is the same bowl I just used. Didn't bother cleaning it out. So the pizza sauce is bubbling away and it's actually coming together really nicely. Sometimes it takes a little bit of stirring to get the oil and the water and the tomato paste together, but it is nicely combined and it's already starting to thicken, so probably just turn this off and leave it on the hot burner, and that should be enough to continue to thicken it up a little bit. Okay, so I have the pizza sauce cooled down. This is actually enough for 2 recipes for us. We make 2 pizzas each, so this is actually 4 pizzas worth of sauce. Alright, also gonna put my rolls in the oven. Get those baked off. So next I'm gonna clean up what I need for the taco salads. I'm also gonna do some other veggie prep just because there's a lot of overlap. I'm gonna do peppers and onions. You can see here, I have peppers and onions for the bratwurst sandwich. I'm also going to put peppers and onions on the pizza and peppers and sweet onions in the taco salad. So I'm just going to do it all at once. Put it straight in this container. I'm not going to put a cloth in the bottom because I'm going to serve out of this container. So this is actually going to be for the taco salad. So I'm going to use all of this for the taco salad. And then I'm going to clean up the rest of the lettuce separately, and I'll probably have a salad on the pizza night, and we'll probably have salad on the bratwurst night too. Okay, so I have my taco salad. I have some whole leaf romaine lettuce and then some torn up romaine lettuce. So there's always a lot of lettuce when you get those big packs from Costco. Put this in the refrigerator, and then I'm going to add some more stuff to this salad for tonight. So I cleaned up 1 of each color. I'm going to leave the rest whole because they last longer in the refrigerator that way. So I will do a little bit of each color for the taco salad, a little bit for each color for the pizza, and a little bit of each color for the bratwurst sandwich. For the taco salad, I have this giant sweet onion. I'm just going to cut a little bit of this up. Also have a few scraggly scallions. I'll go ahead and put this in the taco salad as well. Alright, so I'm also going to do black olives. That will go in the taco salad as well as for a pizza topping. Alright, so I have my peppers and onions all ready to go. I have my pizza toppings. I also have pepperoni that I have in the refrigerator that will go with this, and my taco salad. I just will need to add the beans and the meat. I'm not going to do that just yet since it's already packed up. So I'll just put all this in the refrigerator. The last thing I wanted to do for this week's meal prep was to make the brine for the chicken, and that just involves dissolving some salt and sugar and aromatics in some water and then letting it cool down and soaking your chicken in that overnight. So right now I don't have room in my refrigerator with that big taco salad in there, so I will make that, probably I'll just make that Saturday night and soak the chicken in it overnight Saturday, and then we'll go ahead and smoke that chicken on Sunday. But other than that, that's all the meal prep that I'm going to do for this week. I hope you enjoyed the video, found it helpful. See you guys next time. Thanks for watching.